Hi there, Malcolm here with my 342nd Booktube video, and today I'll be bringing a review for All That We See or Seem by Ken Liu. I think this came in November's book box. I don't know, broken binding I want to say. This is a science fiction story set in the near future where proper AI, we're talking decent AI, not this regurgitated content stealing crap that's rammed down our throats from every single direction, but actual AI that works. And we follow Julia Z, who's a Chinese illegal immigrant to America with an interesting past, which we do learn about during the course of the story. And she's approached by a lawyer whose wife has vanished. The prologue is her leaving the house, abandoning him and their life together. And he's tracked down Julia to say, can you find out what's happened to her, please? Because he's got a ransom video from a particularly nasty piece of work saying, we've got her. Can you provide me what she's stolen from me? And he wants Julia to ascertain whether or not this footage is real or if it's AI generated. And Julia and Piers, the husband, go down this rabbit hole of what and who his wife is. And she's a new type of artist, a kind of dream weaver. There is a term for it in here, but I can never pronounce it. I'm not going to try and butcher it now. But effectively, using AI and other means, she runs sort of a collective dream experience with her audience. And it soon turns out that she's been having to do a more personal one-on-one dream experience with this guy for reasons that become apparent as the story unfolds. And he believes that she's taken information from him through the dream process that will expose him for what he is. So it's a missing persons mystery, it's a data recovery adventure, and they're bad guys with guns. I can't really tell you more than that without going into spoiler territory, but the story unfolds in a really interesting way in that you learn more and more about Ellie, the missing woman, Julia, the person trying to find her, and Piers, who's the husband. Actually, there's not much to find out about him. He's pretty much who he claims to be. But also this villain who's known as the Prince and what he's up to. In fact, we don't really find that out until like 2/3 of the way through the book, where we have a massive change in the story. Things happen and we go into certainly almost a separate adventure. I won't give away more than that, but we don't spend the entire book trying to solve the original mystery. That comes to a conclusion, and then we get a new thing that takes place as a result of what happened getting to that point in the first place. And yeah, I went into this not really knowing what to expect. I'm not really into the sort of cyberpunk genre of science fiction, and although it does occasionally get a little bit technical, I didn't feel lost at any point. Yeah, it didn't get too heavy in the info dumping. I think I would have liked to have seen a breakdown of how to say some of the words. I read this to my wife and I did stumble over some of the words a bit. It's like, okay, I need to take a running leap at this one. It's like the Dreamweaver word. How do you say that? I don't know. So I liked how we learn about the characters as the story unfolds. We have some flashbacks to Julia's past. I would say the conclusion was very quick. There's a situation that we're in, and it says on Storygraph that this is book 1 of the Julia Z series, and you've only got so many pages left, and you think, we're not going to get out of this situation in the amount of time we've got. We're going to have to wait for the next book sort of situation. However, I will say this is a self-contained story. If indeed there is going to be a second book in the series, it will be its own new adventure, with some, perhaps, knock-on effects from what happened in this book. The one thing that I thought happened. There was a claim to have done this one thing, something else happened. It was a case of, no, at no point did I buy that the thing happened. No, it turned out it hadn't. And so, it's a case of, here's the big twist. Yeah, I guessed that already. That was almost pretty guaranteed, to be honest. But it really underlines what the characters are like in this story, which I think is really good, because sometimes you read these books and the characters are very two-dimensional. These characters have depth. Yeah, really did. I did enjoy this. I enjoyed the mystery. I enjoyed how they were able to track down various clues. And the sense of threat was quite palpable at times as well. At no point do we feel like our main character is just going to breeze through these situations. And like I say, and 2/3 of the way through, there's a massive thing that happens, and we're then into a totally different type of story almost. I say it's worth buying. For something it's not normally my cup of tea, I really enjoyed it. And this is a beautiful edition. I've got lovely sprayed edges there. Some gorgeous artwork on the end pages. There we go. They don't really seem to have any relevance to the story itself. I've got a nice sort of circuit board type foiling on the front cover there, and the back as well. So, have you read All That We See or Seem? What did you think about it? Put your comments down below, please. But as usual, if you have nothing nice to say, then please keep it to yourself. Thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and other YouTube things if you want. And until next time, see you later.